Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem. Performing tonight's anthem is one of the most popular musical groups in the world today, multi-platinum recording artists, In Sync.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars rule the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Oh boy, tears of joy. I'm not crying, you are. Welcome in here tonight to STAM Studio Network. This is going to be a fun hell of a race. Race fans, this is the West Coast Sim Racing League. We're coming at you live from one of the most iconic and punishing circuits in North America. Of course, the legendary Sebring International Raceway. West Coast Sim Racing, the multi-class league here tonight. We got GT3s. What? We got some GT4s. What? On track at the same time here, multi-class. It's going to get a little bit tight within the traffic sections of the track. Got a stat grid here for you. Let's get down to live virtual trackside coverage from this 17-turn, 3.5-mile track. Of course, I was just mentioning that's a treacherous 17-turn track here. It's very bumpy here at Sebring. It hadn't been repaved in years, if not decades. We're at a very cool 65 degrees Fahrenheit temp. That's about as cool as we can get here within the sim racing world, at least the iRacing world. Welcome in here to STAM Studio Network. My name is Sean Stam. Woo, you better strap in. Tonight's going to be a nice battle. We got, let's see, seven drivers in the GT3 class, as well as just about a little bit more than in that GT4 class. There you see track map on the right side of your screen. Oh boy, strap in. This is going to be a great race. So we have drivers making their way down through Sunset here. It's going to be Benjamin Forehand and Daniel Higgins rounding it out there on the GT3 front row. That iRacing safety pace car, I don't blame him. He's going to dive into that safety of pit road. Andrew Bound and Brandon Birch down there in the GT4 class will lead us in the GT4 class. But this is what we've been waiting for here. Another 2-day long wait back to green flag racing. This time it's going to be Benjamin Forehand in the GT3 class. Already too wide there. Oh, we already got a spinner. I was going to mention that earlier on in the race. You got to be careful with these cooler tire temps as well as cooler tire pressures. That's these Nighttime conditions are very treacherous in these newly modeled GT3 tires. Still looking side by side on the GT4 class until we got one mowing the lawn back there. Looks like that was going to be Andreas Profana. He'll keep things all moving and grooving, or was it Steven Shakespeare? Backing out here to the race lead. Benjamin Forehand right where he started. Josh Hunter already gaining a spot off of this race start. Daniel Higgins fresh off of a top 3 run just last night, and the NASCAR Cup Series car at the hills of Sonoma. Daniel Higgins is in 3rd place right now, having himself a nice start, although he did start up there P2 beside Benjamin Forehand, Ali Xay, as well as Daniel Parmalee, Adrian Gutierrez, also all gaining a spot early on after that Aaron Schultz spin on that turn 2 in the race. Here's once again this battle for the GT4. This is Brandon Birch, Jake Steckler trying to reel in Andrew Bound. We see you, D-Ghost. Welcome in once again, every single one of you live in YouTube land here tonight. We see that Rexy paint scheme for Josh Hunter. Josh Hunter actually, he was our race winner just a week ago from the West Coast Sim Racing MultiClass Series Thursday night. We were at Road America. Josh Hunter won it. Daniel Higgins came in P2. Right now, those drivers are once again sitting P2 and 3, trying to chase that Ford Mustang of Benjamin Forehand. Matter of fact, we'll hop on board with Josh Hunter here. He's right within striking distance of our race leader. All right, apologies there. I think that was on the racing ends there. Let me know if everything is sounding a-okay down there in YouTube land below, as we have battles continuing to ensue for the race lead in both classes. Right now, that's Benjamin Forehand and Josh Hunter for GT3. Andrew Bound continues to lead Brandon Birch in the GT4 class. Look at this move. This is going to be into the tight hairpin section of the track. I believe it's turn 5 here at Sebring. You're going to want to get that braking done just a little bit early. Try to drop a gear and disappear here through the Florida. It's it's a very, what do you call it? Flat track there. That was the word I was looking for. In terms of elevation, but we do have that, the years of bumps on this track to work with. Of course, there you see that large diffuser on that Ford Mustang. All these, of course, GT3s and GTPs are BOP, balance of power to one another. I'm surprised we haven't seen sparks fly out the end of these machines just yet. All right, appreciate you keeping us in tune there, D-Ghost. I'm going to work on that here behind the scenes. And speaking of working things behind the scenes, Joe Rainey, he almost came away with the top 3 finish there. That was also last night live streamed on STAM Studio Network. Joe Rainey, he's sitting in that top 3 driver interview spot right now. Matter of fact, the final driver interview spot. But I don't know, he's got Stone Colby trying to reel him in. Matter of fact, breathing on that rear bumper. VehicleBuyers.com machine tonight, number 52, is looking like he has some pace. Ethan Holland, Warren Johnson with a newer paint scheme here tonight, still Sprite on the side, but might be able to see it as we get back into the lights here on the front stretch. Battles continuing to ensue in that GT3 class for that final driver interview spot. All right, wait for it here. Wait till this Sprite machine comes to life here in the light, or if we can see it, I don't know. It's pitch black here tonight at Sebring. Here we go. This is Warren Johnson, new paint scheme. He's also got that STAM Studio Network bumper sticker license plate, sort of a vinyl sticker there, both available in the virtual world as well as real life. That equates just about 5-10 horsepower both, as well as in the sim as well as real life. So be sure that you get on that here if you do get within the sim, or you do a little bit of racing yourself. Here's Joe Rainey going against Jake Steckler, fighting for that P2 spot. Jake's going to run a little bit wide. He's going to give it up. Here comes Stone Colby for that 3rd spot in the GT4 class. Joe Rainey, Stone Colby saying thank you very much. I'm going to take that into, once again, that tight hairpin turn. Right now we got Steven Shakespeare down and out of, well, he's back on the race course now, as well as Lewis Holloway is also going for a little bit of a spin here himself. We'll take a look at Holloway's incident first, then we'll take a look at Steven Shakespeare's. That's into one of the most technical portions of the track, if you could call it that. And man, Lewis Holloway tries to carry a little bit too much speed. Here's Steven Shakespeare's incident. Steven Shakespeare, he's sitting -1 spot to where he started this race. Looks like he was just trying to have a nice run going. Oh, contact! That'll be another VehicleBuyers.com machine. Brandon Birch involved that time. Back into this battle for Holloway versus Amethyst Reese here. We're going to hop on board with Lewis Holloway as look at these lights. They're continuing to glimmer within that rear view here for Lewis Holloway. I know this is a battle for, this is 8th and 9th in the GT4 class. Oh, contact there between Amethyst Reese, Lewis Holloway as we make our way down the long back straightaway here. These drivers will look side by side, not really going to opt for that draft or slipstream to work with here into Sunset. You got to be careful going side by side here. You run a little bit offline, that might be the end of you. Oh, we are going to look side by side there within Sunset. That's through the turn number 17, back into complete lap number 4, coming to 5 here. 3.5 miles each lap. This is this battle starting to heat up and really get quite good here between Miss Amethyst Reese and Lewis Holloway. Look at this, side by side once again through turns 1 and 2. I spoke too soon. Synchronized spinning there for Amethyst Reese and Lewis Holloway, who's able to keep it going first. Looks like Amethyst Reese is able to use her momentum, keep that as Aston Martin GT4 backing up going, as she's going to lose 1 spot since the start of that race. Lewis Holloway is still going to gain 1 even after this spin. Real quick walk through the fields here as battles, well, they're only that Stone Colby Jake Steckler range in GT4 class, but Benjamin Forehand continuing to show us all how it's done here from the bumpy Sebring International Raceway. Look at those front brake rotors glowing, at least they were into the entrance of turn number 17. Benjamin Forehand showing us the pace here tonight, and this isn't the only time we've seen this here. If you're an avid fan on Stam Studio Network or just an avid racer in the iRacing universe, something about these Ford Mustangs and the way that they're able to handle this newer tire model, they continue to show the way out front. I know Benjamin Forehand, he definitely has a lot of pace here, not only under the hood, but as well as his driving style and racecraft. As I'm talking about this real quick, here's Joe Rainey. Once again, this is going to be 2 nights in a row. Joe is having himself a really, really nice run. This time he's going to try to take a little bit too much of that curb there going into turns. I think that's 13 and 14. I've done that one too many times myself. Let's hop on board with Joe Rainey here, take this full speed, and this is just how quickly it happens. So I really didn't hear any contact with that with the rear diffuser there. I think it was just the right side tires came completely off the racetrack there. Of course, no tires on the racetrack will opt for no grip there. So unfortunately for Joe Rainey, he'll drop only, let's see, 3 or 4 spots there. Josh Hunter, we're continuing our walk down the field. This Rexy machine here, it's only headlights at this point in the track. You can kind of catch a little glimmer of that number 062 as he continues to try and reel in Mr. Benjamin Forehand. Real quick before we continue our walk down the field, this is a lap time differential here between these two. That is a lot of red if you're a Josh Hunter fan. That's a Porsche, once again, trying to reel in. That's a GT3 Mustang there. Sorry about that. Okay. Anyways, that's even more red there as we compare Josh Hunter back to Daniel Higgins. And if you're just now joining us here tonight on Stam Studio Network, Daniel Higgins is coming off a really nice run himself just last, a couple nights ago in that NASCAR Cup car from the hills of Sonoma. It was fun to watch him, and right now it looks like he might have to play a little bit of strategy here. We do have that competition caution that 15th minute into the race. Wonder if Daniel Higgins is going to come on top and off of fuel here. If he is, he's going to lead our front runners down and into the pit lane. Speaking of front runners, Andrew Bound, he has led every single lap so far in the GT4 class, but Stone Colby, how many times have we seen it, not only throughout this season, but as well as the Apex Motor Club Sim Racing League? Stone Colby, if he doesn't have that qualifying effort he's looking for, he's able to work his way up back and through the field pretty quick here. No Stone Colby cam here tonight, but man, it's so much fun to watch him work his way back and up through the field. Jake Steckler gives him a little bit of a point behind just a few laps ago as Jake finds his way up into that final driver interview spot in the GT4 class. Ethan Holland, that big sniffer BMW machine. If you don't know what I mean, take a look at these. Well, you might not be able to see it this time. There you go. You can see it for maybe a half of a second here with our last little glimmer of light on the racetrack. That's some big old air inlets on the front nose of any BMW there. In the real life world, if it's one of the big SUVs, it's still got those big air inlets, as well as the GT4 cars, well, the GT3s as well. No BMW GT3 out here on track tonight. Warren Johnson, he's going to run the Mercedes GT4. It's also winning class right now, but Warren and his Mercedes number 24 Sprite on the side. He'll find his way down to P5 in class right now. Joe Rainey still trying to recover from his spin earlier on in the race. Sits P6 in class. How about Andreas Profana? Is this a newer paint scheme tonight for? No, it's still the red. Okay. Andreas had me working for a Dynaco paint scheme for his, I believe that was the GT4 car. Still got the Lightning McQueen paint scheme going strong there. Lewis Holloway in the 8th running spot there, driver out of Haiti. He's in the McLaren GT4. Here we go. I would say this driver's going to make their way down and into pit lane. So still some more strategy calls here tonight as we crest our way ever so closer to that competition caution. Real quick, before we do though, go ahead, I think you know what time it is. Treat yourself to the sights and sounds here of the racetrack. GT3s, GT4s, bumpy Sebring. Go ahead and crank this puppy up. I'll be right back with you here in the booth. Slowly crank this puppy back down, because here are some strategy calls. 1 minute to go until that competition caution. There you see our front two runners overall. Benjamin Forehand, Josh Hunter, both into the pits. Now you might be asking yourself why. Well, there's definitely, these cars are not going up on the invisible air jacks. Everybody has to make a fuel pit stop here tonight, at least within the GT3 class, I do know. There we see Benjamin Foran, Daniel Parmalee, Josh Hunter, all making their way down into the pits. Just 25 seconds to go until this competition yellow. Adrian Gutierrez, how about it? Driver number 9, Porsche GT3. Rear brake light looking like a UFO flying out here on the track of Sebring as he makes his way down into the pitch black here tonight. For the last time till that competition flag flies in just 5 seconds time. Adrian Gutierrez, Josh Hunter, Benjamin Forand to P2 and P3 already cycling back and out around. Alrighty, there you see it, top left of your screen. Yellow flag is out. We're going to get all of these drivers bunched back up to one another. We're going to get the drivers in each with one of their respectable classes split back up, as well as, hey, we're going to get some wave arounds as well. Going to get just some more racing action here for you. Rack 'em and stack 'em, as you would say. Appreciate once again every single one of you joining in here tonight in YouTube land, or if you're watching this race broadcast back. I know some of these drivers, they are so focused and concentrated on the race at hand that they are going to do everything it takes. Andrew Bound makes his way down and into pit lane. Is the iRacing safety car, is also just chilling out there into pit lane. But the lights are on, so should be seeing the pace car dive out here in just a few moments time. Real quick, I'm going to get everybody waved, whatever you want to call it, around, and I'll be right back with you up here in the booth. Alrighty, welcome back here into STAM Studio Network. Sorry, just getting some race control stuff figured out here. And speaking of race control, real quick, before we hear from the man himself, league owner Warren Johnson, take a look at the point standings here, at least listen to him. Josh Hunter, he's leading us out at the points. There you see scrolling on the bottom of your screen. Daniel Higgins, he's only -3 points behind. As well as Amethyst Reese, she's having herself a really nice run throughout this whole season. She sits right there up in that battle for P3. Ali Aksay, Joe Rainey, Nico Colby, Jake Steckler, Brandon Birch, Stone Colby, Ethan Holland rounding out that top 10. Warren Johnson sits 11 in the points. Benjamin Forant, Adrian Gutierrez, Lewis Holloway, Daniel Parmalee, Ryan Powell, Andrew Bound, Andreas Bofana, Diego P. De Lima, Aaron Schultz rounding out that top 10 in the points. Excuse me, 20 there. Sorry about that. Real quick, back into the racetrack for some more pacing action here. The league owner himself, how about it? Warren Johnson, you got yourself a copy.
Hey, what's up, Sean? How we doing?
Doing all right tonight here, man. I'm getting back here in the swing of things. Oh, I see you're calling me too. Perfect timing. How are you doing here tonight? And is everything going okay as far as race control out there on the track?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm doing okay. I started 6th and I'm in 5th or 4th. So, we're doing, oh no, I'm in 6th or 5th. So I'm doing okay. I'm just waiting to catch back up to the pack here. And then I believe Amethyst needs a wave around because she is behind the safety car, but all the leaders will be around. Let me look. Can you see that on your end?
I did already give her one, so I didn't want to double it up, but yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do
no,
it.
No,
again
no, no.
if
No. If you already did it, then you're good.
Okay. I mean, maybe. Oh, there she goes. Okay. Well, anyways, Warren, I know the track temp was pretty low going into it here. We saw at least one spin in the GT3 class, but you're sitting here in the GT4 class, the new Sprite paint scheme on the side of it. How's that Mercedes feeling here tonight for you, man?
Feeling good. I love this car, and GT4s on this track feel really, really nice. So I'm having a good old time out here. Just trying to get around Ethan, but he's really, really quick, so it's harder, easier said than done, as they say.
Real quick before we let you get going, let's see. It looks like everybody will get caught up on this pace lap here. So you want me to get it going? Oh wait, it'll probably be. I'll have to wait one more.
It's gonna be like 2 more laps.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, we'll let you get your pit service in here, and best of luck to you the rest of the race. Warren, you've done an excellent job here with West Coast Sim Racing, and you're doing an excellent job here tonight on track.
Thanks, Sean. Just for a heads up, just make sure everyone's out of the pits, and then once everybody's caught up for the second time, then we're good to go.
Alrighty, sounds good, man. I appreciate you, Warren.
All right, thanks a lot, Sean.
Alrighty, so that was man himself, Warren Johnson, taking his pit stop there. I didn't want to distract him more than we already were, but so the way that this pit stop strategy is going to cycle out here, we're going to have Josh Hunter, Benjamin Foran, Daniel Higgins, pretty much our top 3 runners for, I mean, pretty much the whole race here so far, except Josh Hunter. He's going to cycle out to the lead in that Rexy, very vibrant lime green 062 Porsche. Benjamin Forant and Daniel Higgins, of course, right there they will be side by side before too long. Ali Ikseh here in the P4 spot, the GT3 class. That's pretty much the only Mercedes in that GT3 class. Showing us how it's done. He continues to have a really nice run. Andreas Profana, they will actually be, I believe Andreas will lead the GT4 class to green unless they come make their way down and into pit lane this time by Daniel Parmalee, a Chevrolet Corvette. There you go, number 64. Should be starting at least 5th or 6th overall, but would be 5th in class. Andrew Bound, Adrian Gutierrez, Ethan Holland, Stone Colby, Jake Steckler, Joe Rainey, Warren Johnson, Brandon Birch, Amethyst Reese, Lewis Holloway, Steven Shakespeare, and Aaron Schultz. Rounding out our 18, well, Aaron Schultz no longer on the track here tonight, so 17 driver field here tonight. All right, we're still getting everybody caught back up to the iRacing Safety pace car here. So once again, thanking everybody live in YouTube land. We got D Ghost popping off here tonight in the chat, saying, I would want to be out of the pits, making a mistake. Let's see, Vroom smelling it all. Yeah, D Ghost has just been the man here tonight in the live YouTube land. Hey, if you want to be right there with him, it's free. All you got to do is just give it a little subscribe to the YouTube channel, and that unlocks the ability to get a little live chat action here. It's remember here, folks, as I crest this back into to racing action here. Remember what we saw on that original green flag start. I'll cut back to a replay of it. These newer GT3 tire models that iRacing has released, well, it has been treacherous here. As we take a look at, once again, this race restart. This is the GT3 class. Take a look at that red and black car down the inside. No contact there. Just goes for a spin himself. I don't know how Daniel Parmalee was able to avoid spinning Aaron Schultz here, as Aaron Schultz is our only car down and out of the race here at the moment. Didn't make any contact with the tire barrier, but as real quick, we'll hop on board with Aaron Schultz here as he went into turn 1. This is how cool the tire temperatures as well as pressures result of this cooler tire track conditions are there. Goodness gracious, you wouldn't think that would be a tongue twister. And if we hop on board one more time, Daniel Parmalee this time. Daniel Parmalee, I bet, probably needs a new pair of underwear. Ooh, and then Daniel barely saves it. Has to run a little bit wide. Groundskeeper really going to love that move there out of Daniel, but hey, at least he's able to keep it out there of the wall. Lights are out on the iRacing Safety pace car. We have 3 drivers that need to catch back up. That would, of course, be, let's see, Brandon Birch is now caught back up. Amethyst Reese, Lewis Holloway, as well as Steven Shakespeare. Steven's going to be the biggest kind of guesstimate here, but I'm willing to chalk it in that he will make it back to the pack here before the start-finish line. Josh Hunter, the field will be in your hands this restart. I believe it will be single file, but take a little bit of look at some games to be played here on this race restart. Not necessarily the leader, but I don't know, driver 2nd, 3rd, 4th, even 5th overall in track. Possibly if you're Daniel Parmalee, Andrew Bound. I'm not what would you call it? I'm not telling these drivers to do this. I'm more rather not saying just be on the lookout for some possible games to be played. Matter of fact, there you see Josh Hunter. He's trying to blind us. And Josh, man, you're flashbanging me up here in the booth. He's got that. Steven Shakespeare. Did he just go off? Oh no, Steven's still trying to catch back up on the pack. Okay, so as Steven Shakespeare tries to catch up here, yeah, we got 2 long straightaways to work with. Yeah, Josh Hunter continues to blind us up here in the booth, and not Daniel Higgins, Benjamin Forehand. He's going to be the meat in the sandwich, as Daniel Higgins and Josh Hunter will both be P1 and P3 on this race restart. Let me know who you have down there in the live YouTube chat. Both classes here, if you will. GT3, is it going to be Josh Hunter, or will we see Benjamin Forehand and the dominance of this Ford Mustang show us all how it's done on this race restart? And the GT4 class as well. We got Andreas Profana. This is a little bit reminiscent of a F1 World Championship a few seasons ago down there in Abu Dhabi. We're going to have Daniel Parmalee. He's a couple positions separated by Andrew Bound right now, as well as Adrian Gutierrez. These are different class drivers that are kind of staggered here on this race restart. Yes, we do have everybody caught up. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've waited probably about 5, we'll call it 5 minutes here on this short few pace laps. Josh Hunter, the field's going to be in your hands for GT3. Andres Profana, the field will be in your hands for GT4. Here we go back to green flag racing from the bumpy Sebring International Raceway. That iRacing safety pace car makes that safety dive into pit lane. A little bit of a checkup on this start here for Josh Hunter. Green flag is out and away we go. Back into turn number 1 here into the West Coast Sim Racing Multi-Class League. We're starting to fan it out a little bit wide here for the battle in the GT4 class. Oh, synchronized spinning once again. I told you to look out for it. Adrian Gutierrez hard into the wall. So is that Chevrolet Corvette of Daniel Parmalee. Back out here, Josh Hunter. He's trying to get these tires and brakes up to operating temps as quick as he can. Here comes Benjamin Forehand. Does he look down the outside? Does Benjamin look down the inside? Here we go into the hairpin section. Looks like Josh Hunter. He's going to run a little bit wide. Benjamin Forehand down the inside. Look at the run at the Benjamin Forehand machine. 35 out to the race lead for the moment as Josh Hunter tries to get back down the outside through turns 6 and 7 here. Rexy versus a Ford Mustang. Call Benjamin Forehand door quarter clear. Ali Xay is now off the racetrack just a little bit further on in the pack. We'll take a replay of it here in just a few moments' time as the battle between these two continues to heat up between Josh Hunter. Daniel Higgins has come out of nowhere. He has slingshotted his way up into P2. Says thank you very much, Benjamin Forehand. Here we go through kind of the S's section here. Very flat through the portion of turns 14, 15, and 16. We'll make our way here through to Sunset now. Benjamin Forehand, fastest driver tonight. Benjamin goes around. We'll hop on board of Benjamin Forehand here as we saw this happen, both opening laps of this race here on the original race start as well as the race restart. These tires, you just got to baby them for about the first couple laps here. Benjamin Forehand tries to ask there just a little bit too much out of turn number 16, back into up to the battle for the race lead. We'll go top 3 battle here. This is going to be the GT4 runners, Andrew Bound. He's got a 2.5 second gap over Joe Rainey. Here's these drivers side by side. Look at the competitiveness, the racecraft here between Ethan Holland. Ethan's door quarter clear over Jake Steckler. VehicleBuyers.com machine Jake. He's up 3 spots since that race start at the original start of the race here, trying to hound Ethan Holland to try and dive it down the inside. Apex Motor Club driver not quite having it there. He's going to get 2 tires off of the racetrack there and into the dirt. He's going to slot back right back into place. Here's Brandon Birch, another VehicleBuyers.com machine, tried to gain a little bit of what was lost earlier on in the race. Here we go into the hairpin once again. Jake Steckler tries to dive it down the inside. It'll be a crossover move. Ethan wasn't clear. Ethan is now off the racetrack. Well, that's you saw it kind of transpire there a little bit. I believe this will be a better replay of it here, as these drivers, they just not clear going into the hairpin. Probably the slowest portion of the track there. Oh, Jake Steckler was already ran offline there. Jake doing everything that he could to try to avoid that. As real quick, here's a big incident here out on track. Jake Steckler, Brandon Birch, as well as Warren Johnson is involved. Okay, here's Brandon Birch. He makes our way down the kind of another right-hand section portion of the track here. I know Warren Johnson was also he was shown involved in a little bit of an incident. Looks like they were able to keep it going here for the moment. Looks like SDK was lying to me. Yep, these drivers just continue to battle it out here on track, as here comes another GT3. This is the pace differential here between GT3 and GT4. Adrian Gutierrez is trying to work his way back and up through the race pack here as he went off the on that race restart. Once again, that was one of those, another set of tires that really just wasn't ready for racing action. Here is back up to the overall race leader. It's going to be the Rexy 062 Porsche. Josh Hunter showing us how it's done as Benjamin Forehead went for a spin just a couple of laps ago. Daniel Higgins once again showing us how it was done in the stock car world from the hills of Sonoma. He sits P2 right where he started this race. Benjamin Forehand leads that final driver interview spot, the GT3 class, even after his earlier incident. Oh, I just saw some lights, I think, go for a spin. Maybe not, though. Looks like everybody's keeping it moving and grooving here. Brandon Birch is sitting at P3 in that GT4 class. A really nice run tonight for Brandon Birch, as the class leader is still running away in that GT4 class. But excuse me, this is Joe Rainey, P2, Stone Colby, P3. That's that final driver interview in GT4. Stone Colby right now, he's trying to play a little bit of defense, though, as Brandon Birch tries to reel him in here. Once again, this will be through turns 9 and 10 coming to here on the track. How did Warren Johnson just text me? This driver's still, his front brake rotors are a-glowing. Warren Johnson says, oh no! Okay, well, he sent a text with Siri, but no, Warren Johnson was in race chat, and I think Siri opted that as sending a text to me there. It consisted of, oh no, you're fine, all that, etc. there, so apologies. But oh no, Adrian Gutierrez gone around once again here, the number 9 here out of Mexico, just trying to find some sort of grip in his Porsche GT3. All right, let's hop on board with the old Adrian Gutierrez here. And if you're new to iRacing, this is how quick this would happen. You're just trying to push for every little tenth here, especially in the GT3. Oh, the rear end! That's really not something we see too often here. Possibly a little bit too much rear brake bias in the number 9 machine. Around that rear end comes, he's just trying to carry a little bit too much speed through there. Backing up to the battle for P3 in the GT4 class. Ali Xe is going to continue to work his way through it with a little bit of damage on that rear end of that Mercedes GT3. But here we go, Stone Colby. He's worked his way backing up to P2 here. But how about it? Joe Rainey, he's within striking distance, as well as Brandon Birch for that final driver interview spot. Only 6 minutes to go here. We know Joe Rainey, he's not really a fan of doing these the driver interviews after the race, but he sticks around. He toughs it out here. He's got to have that at least in the back of his mind. Is holy, you saw Ali Xe four-wheeling it there to make a pass over Stone Colby. Here we go. Andrew Bound continues to pull the gap in the GT4 class, but right now we're looking at that battle for P2. Stone Colby, Joe Rainey, Brandon Birch. How about Jake Steckler? You can't count him out. Jake showed us that he had the pigs earlier on in the race. Let's see, Adrian Gutierrez still working his way up and through the race field here as he's fresh off of another spin, this time trying to make his way around a Amethyst Reese, I believe this is. Oh, excuse me, that's Lewis Holloway there out of Haiti. Apologies there, Lewis. Back to the closest battle on track, and with especially about 4.5 minutes to go. We're gonna hop on board with Joe Rainey here. Look at the we have the driver eye cam here tonight for Joe Rainey. Watch these hands go to work for this McLaren GT4 machine. As we have seen, Joe Rainey, he has the pace to keep it right there with Stone Colby. You got that long back stretch to work here from Sebring. Matter of fact, we're on it here heading into turn number 17. Of course, that's the infamous sunset corner here tonight. No sunset we have to deal with the pitch black skies, but Joe Rainey, I don't hate where this driver's at. He's gonna run way wide here. This is what I was just about to mention. Look at the matter of fact, the 4 or 5 different racing lines you can run. That's gonna be Stone Colby who runs wide. Stone's gonna have to play the offense now as Joe Rainey works his way up to P2 in the GT4 class. Ah, what a move for Joe, and you hate it if you're a Colby fan there. Stone has showed us that he has had that pace, but unfortunately going to lose out for P2 here for the moment. As I was about to say and start getting into there for Joe Rainey as we continue to crest down and towards a little bit closer towards the white and checkered flags here. I don't hate Stone Colby and the kind of the slingshot spot, I guess you could call it here. That backstretch is long enough that you definitely have that draft to work with here. These cars definitely, if you get a good enough of a run off there out of turn 15, you just got to compromise a little bit of the entrance, get that run off, try to drop that gear and disappear. We're gonna have to see if it happens between these two front runners. Josh Hunter, the overall race lead, GT3, my goodness, 3.2 second gap right now for this driver. Daniel Higgins still out there up in P2. The UFO-inspired rear brake lights for that Porsche, even the number 1 here. Started in that P2 spot. Real quick, back into this battle here. It was Stone Colby and Joe Rainey. Joe got back around Stone Colby, but right now Stone has a rear view camera full of a hard charging Brandon Birch. Coming just to, what's that? Oh, 2.5 minutes to go here. Going back to that infamous turn 15 this time. That's that turn I was just talking about about a minute or two ago there. You want to make sure you got every single thing that you can out of the run off the exit. Get everything that you can there for the long straightaway. Try and make a move here into sunset. That's Brandon Birch, not quite close enough to make it a move for that final driver interview spot in the GT4 class. Look at these suspension, the brake rotors, everything's going to work here tonight for every single one of these drivers. Probably looking at about 2 laps to go here tonight for the field. This is starting to get good between Stone Colby, Joe Rainey, Andrew Bound. He continues to run away in that GT4 class. 4.3 seconds for that driver. Ooh, I believe Steven Shakespeare, this is fresh off of a spin here. Steven's going to lose 1, maybe 2 spots here as he finds himself backing onto the racetrack. Adrian Gutierrez, once again, an expensive lawnmower here tonight. Grounds crew really going to love that one out of number 5 machine. There you see, he's got a little bit of damage on that rear end. He's just trying to make it to the checkered flag. Speaking of checkered flag, Josh Hunter. He's about to make his way through 17, should be coming to the white flag lap this time by. Josh, he's had that hard charging Benjamin forehand to kind of force and deal with earlier on in the race, but Benjamin on that lap of the race restart, he just made a little bit of a mistake himself, tried to get back on the gas a little bit too early. Benjamin, he'll find himself back into the P3 spot here for the moment, but unfortunately that's not enough time here to make something work here tonight from Sebring. Back to this battle once again. Stone Colby, this GT4 battle. Joe Rainey, he came off of that win just a week ago. They're from Road America in the GT4 class, Rainey Holmes Racing. We know that he has the pace, a little bit shy in the driver interviews, but he might have to do one here tonight. Joe continues to run P2 in that GT4 class. Nico Colby got P2 in the GT4 class a week ago. Brandon Birch coming away with P3. He's right outside of that spot, trying to get it away from Stone Colby as we will reach the white flag lap here tonight from Sebring. Here's another really nice battle. This is going to be, it's multi-class. Unfortunate for Warren Johnson. He's just going to see the GT3 Porsche there drive away in the distance. Warren, although I did say it was unfortunate, he's having himself a really nice run here tonight. Looks like he'll finish at P6. That's going to be a nice run within the point standings as well. Andrew Bound, how about this Mercedes GT4 driver? He's got his front brake rotors glowing a little bit here, but I think the name of the game here tonight for Andrew, just management here. Managed the tires, managed the brakes, managed the fuel, as well as the racecraft. He's run away with that 4.2 second gap over Joe Rainey in that GT4 class. Josh Hunter, Rexy Machine. How about I mentioned it all, a 4.5. How about a 5.5 second gap over P2 running Daniel Higgins? Josh Hunter's going to come around, make it all official here tonight from Sebring International Raceway. Rexy to victory lane. Josh Hunter, congratulations, buddy. That is a back-to-back win here in the West Coast Sim Racing League. Daniel Higgins, a back-to-back P2 for the driver of the number 1 Porsche. Holy guacatules. Oh, AMR safety team down here, stats. Benjamin Forehand, Ford Mustang coming across the line, P3. Don't do it, don't do it. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. You can do it, you can do it. Ali Xay will bring it home, P4 in the AMG here tonight. Ali Xay, that's probably one of the coolest looking cars here tonight. Got the neon lights there on the front. Going down to the rear of the car. That's a nice finish for here, Ali Xay. And then Andrew Bound, our overall 5th place running driver. Andrew's going to bring it across the start-finish line. Congratulations, Andrew Bound. We saw that one coming. Going to take the checkered flag here just out of turn number 17. But here we go, Joe Rainey, Stone Colby. This is the battle that we had to keep an eye on here earlier on. Here comes Joe Rainey. He's got P2 solidified for the moment. It's going to be a final stint for Stone Colby if he's able to get the gas here out of turn number 17. Stone Colby, he's got a little run coming to the line, not able to make it work. It'll be Joe Rainey P2, Stone Colby P3. Final driver interview spots here. Stone Colby, holy Mach 2 into the tires there. Brandon Birch, VehicleBuyers.com, McLaren GT4 in P4. We'll make that all official here. Adrian Gutierrez, Jake Steckler, Warren Johnson. How about it? Jake will come home. That would be P5 in GT4 class. Warren Johnson, P6. Lewis Holloway, Ethan Holland, Amethyst Reese, all making up 7th, 8th, and 9th. We'll bring up unofficial race results here for you in just a few moments' time, and of course, bring up those final, all of the driver interview spots. Appreciate every single one of you once again here for joining in tonight on STAM Studio Network, and of course, congratulations to Josh Hunter, Daniel Higgins, Benjamin Forehand, those front overall GT3 winners. Ali Xay will bring it home P4. Andrew Bound will bring it home overall P5, but the race win that GT4 class. Joe Rainey P2 in the GT4. Stone Colby, Brandon Birch, Adrian Gutierrez, Jake Steckler rounding out our top 10. Warren Johnson, Lewis Holloway, Ethan Holland, Amethyst Reese, Daniel Parmalee, Steven Shakespeare, Andreas Profana, and Aaron Schultz rounding out our 18 driver field. Yeah, D-Ghost, you are exactly right there in YouTube land. That got pretty wild down there on the last couple of laps. We'll take a couple of replays of it here after the interviews here in just a few moments time. But once again, thank you everybody. I hope everything was sounding okay there tonight. I was dealing with a little bit here behind the scenes, but apologies if it wasn't. I'll make sure if it wasn't, that it will be locked in at next time. But speaking of locked in, Josh Hunter was locked in here tonight. We're gonna visit our live
It's like,
victory
what's
lane.
going on?
Hey, Josh Hunter, you got yourself a copy, man.
I sure do.
Alrighty, Josh. Well, that got pretty wild on not even the race start, but as well as the race restart. We'll trying to take a look at the replay. Yeah, here we go. What were the tires like here tonight? Of course, it's a newer tire model for the GT3 class. We saw quite a few drivers have some trouble with it here, Josh.
Yeah, tires felt a lot worse on the restart than initial lap 1. I almost died a few times coming out of 3, 4, and 5 on the restart. Luckily I was able to save it, but yeah, it was rough.
Well, Josh, congratulations on your win here tonight. I'm sweating up here in the booth watching you guys. I couldn't imagine what it feels like here tonight. I mean, in the driver's seats, we know you had Benjamin Forehands right there with you this whole race, and then on that race restart, Benjamin just a self-induced spin there, and then Josh, you're able to kind of run away with it.
Yeah, I think Benjamin might be a Smurf. But,
Oh, sure.
just kidding, but yeah, I tried to stay in the suck in the first half, but I just kept making mistakes and lost the draft. But looks like saving tires and fuel eventually paid off because I passed him in the pits.
Yeah, I started to bring up and talk about tire management, brake management, as well as that fuel management. I'm glad that you bring that up here because what that means here for those of you newer within racing and the iRacing universe, Josh was kind of just talking about it. That means you take just less fuel there on the pit stop and you're able to kind of leapfrog him. You had the restart in your hands, and just how valuable is having that race restart in your hands?
I don't know. With the new tires, it's really sketchy and just makes me a little bit more nervous at how easy it is to spin, but just lifting and coasting in the first half, save tires, helps out in the end, especially with lap times.
Well, Josh, thank you so much. Congratulations once again on your race win here tonight. Back to back here in the West Coast Sim Racing League. Real quick, before we let you get going, who makes it all possible for you, man?
You and Warren as usual. Everyone else that joins these races.
Hey, I appreciate that, Josh. That goes a long, long way down there behind the scenes. Appreciate it, man. You have a great, great rest of your night.
Thank you, too.
All righty, we're going to get it down now to Daniel Higgins, man himself. He's showing us how it was done in the stock cars from the hills of Sonoma. Now he's going to bring it home P2 here tonight. Daniel, you got yourself a copy.
Yes, sir.
All righty, Daniel. Well, walk us through it. How did the Porsche feel here tonight? It had to, I think, feel pretty good as Porsche's going to lock in P1 and P2.
Yeah, it was the only car I could really get under 2 minutes and felt really comfortable. It was pretty smooth. Yeah, it was a good race.
Gosh, it really was a good race here. I couldn't imagine there behind the wheel. Porsche's, I'm right there with you, Daniel. The Porsche, at least before this most recent patch, the Porsche was my car to run, but I wonder just how different things feel here. And I know that you said the Porsche was the one car you were able to get under the 2-minute bracket. What other cars did you try as you were trying and lock in a car here tonight for Sebring?
Yeah, I tried most of them. I tried the my usual McLaren and Ferrari, the Mustang, because these two guys are always quick as hell in the Mustang, and I just they're the class of the field tonight. Of course, again, I know every week they're super fast. I try to keep up with them, but yeah, I tried a few others, but I think the Acura, but this one was the best that I felt, and so, yep.
Alrighty, Daniel, before I'll let you get going, man, who we shouting out? Who makes it all possible for you to come out and race in the West Coast Sim Racing League with us here tonight?
Congrats to Josh and Ben and on the podiums, and thank you to you and Warren and everyone who races in the league, as always.
Hey, thank you so much, Daniel, and congrats once again on the P2. That's really gonna go a long ways in the points, as we got some really nice point battles starting to boil as we're only 5th, 6th race in this season. Congrats once again, Daniel, and I'll let you get going. Best of luck to you in our Monday night race in the GRD6 for West Coast Sim Racing League.
Thanks.
Alrighty, that was Daniel Higgins, P2 driver, Benjamin Forehand, and then we're going to get with the GT4 top 3. Benjamin Forehand, how about it? You got yourself a copy, man.
Sir, I hear you.
Alrighty, well, goodness, it looked like you were kind of the driver to beat here tonight, and then on that race or restart, hey, you weren't the only one, but kind of walk us through it, man. Is it the tires? Is it what kind of happened as you were kind of rounding out a turn 15 on the race restart?
Yeah, on 15, I saw Daniel like cut the curb, and I think I just missed the apex, and then I thought I was like not on the apex, and I just floored it, but I was still kind of bouncing, and so just spun the tires. And the traction control with the new tires like doesn't really work until it's too late. So yeah, I just went first spin. But yeah, the tires on the restart, we were talking before, they just don't feel the same. Like the car felt like it was a totally different car. Like after the restart, I could hardly do a 59, but I was consistently doing 57s during the race. So yeah, it's weird.
I mean, it's definitely not the only league I've had this happen in, and we've had a few meetings and some league owners discussing and all that, and it's like, well, maybe we need to bump up the track temp, but then you deal with the longevity of the tires. So I don't know. It's almost like you can't win. I don't know. It's fun to watch, but I couldn't imagine that they're trying to handle it behind the wheel.
Yeah, it's tricky. The Mustang, I just love how the steering feels. I can feel exactly what the car's doing the whole time. But maybe I've done other leagues with the BMW, and on the restart it doesn't feel as bad.
Really?
So maybe I'll try that. Yeah, interesting. I don't know, but this felt absolutely terrible. Like it felt way worse than the start, which doesn't make any sense.
Well, Benjamin, before we let you get going, to note something that you just said before this, we talked about you are running right there behind Daniel Higgins, and it's something that I think we've all done here at Sebring, that the curb on the right side, it'll sneak up on you if the closer you are to that rear bumper, and then you lose sight of it, and that's, I think, what you're starting to get at there. And next thing you know, you're trying to surfboard or skateboard on top of it, and next thing around you go.
Yeah, hopefully iRacing updates this model of the track, because I've been here like 10 times and that curve is not that aggressive. So maybe it'll change, but yeah, don't skateboard the car, it doesn't help.
Hey, the sparks may look cool there in slow motion, but yeah, you're right. As far as pace goes, it's not going to help. All right, Thank you, Benjamin. Real quick, last thing, and then GT Force. Who makes it all possible for you tonight?
I just want to say thanks, Josh, for thinking I'm a swerve. I suck. I'm always trying to be as fast as you. Second off, it's Sean and Warren and all the guys that race, as well as my driving coach, Scott Adams here in NASA, Texas. So thanks.
Hey, NASA, Texas. There you go. Big shout out there. And man, Benjamin, shout out to you, and congrats on your podium finish here tonight, man.
Thank you, sir. See you Monday.
I see you Monday night. All right, that being said, that is all. Nah, I'm just kidding. I got you. GT4 drivers coming up. Here we go. Dr. Andrew Bound, you got yourself a copy, buddy.
Happy to be here, man. It's nice to be on top for once. Let's get spun out or spinning myself out.
And there was a lot of it here tonight. After the driver interviews, I think we're going to go through quite a few replays, but Andrew, I don't think your name's going to be on any of them. Congrats on your class win here tonight. What was it like here behind the wheel as you just pulled a 4.5 second gap over Joe Rainey and Stone Colby?
I was honestly looking forward to battling with those guys. I wish it could have been a little tighter than that, but I'm happy to come out with the win. And I wanted to pit early because I absolutely got boned last week from the pit stop glitch where it wouldn't let me pit. And I had to pit after the caution lap ended, so as soon as that caution was done, I just immediately threw myself into the pits. Was not going to mess around with that again. I actually came out ahead after the caution ended. I ended up basically right in P2, so it worked out in my favor to pit early.
Well, there you go, Andrew. You're going to make the short, what do you call it? Shortcut work here on pit strategy. It's I don't know, man. What do you think about these competition yellows?
I like him. It's interesting. I think it brings I like how it brings everybody together. I do think I'd be nicer if we could separate the GT3s and GT4s. Having a mixed start makes it a little chaotic. I mean, I'm sure it's good for the views.
Yeah, Andrew, you bring me right back to the F1 World Championship a couple seasons ago when they didn't. I know it wasn't different class cars, but wave around and all that. I think there's an option in the UI settings to separate classes on restart, but I don't know. It might be something worth diving into. Bound, Andrew, I appreciate you once again here, taking the time out of your night and waiting quite a bit here, 4 years. I apologize for it, but real quick before we get to Joe Rainey, Stone, Colby, and Warren Johnson, who'd you like to shout out, man?
Shout out for Ward, hosting always a great race, and shout out to you, Sean Sam Network, for putting on a great broadcast, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate that, Andrew. That's what really keeps me going there behind the scenes, and have a great rest of your night, man.
You too. Take care, buddy.
Alrighty, Joe Rainey, whoo boy, how's it going, man? You got a copy?
Yeah, good.
Hey, man, Rainey Ohms Racing, another P2 finish here tonight. You won just a week ago, P2 here tonight. It's a really nice run in the points for you here recently.
Yeah, I got kind of lucky considering I decided to spin when I was in second place before the flag, so I guess kind of had a good pit stop and got a couple lucky things and a good start, and yeah. Matter of fact, we thought the whole race was wondering. We thought that Andrew in front of us had went in the pit and got a black flag, and so we thought we were going to be in first and second at the end. So we were kind of surprised that he didn't get a black flag. So anyway, but no, it was a good race. Had fun. Dark race is always a little different, and Sebring's always a good track to race.
And I mean, kind of, if you can here, what is the difference between a dark track and a light track? I mean, obviously, there's no lights, but I think Sebring's kind of cool. You got the kind of reflectors to work with on the track sides, but I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
you just can't see down farther. Better peripheral vision down. What's coming. You can't see as much of what's coming. So it's what usually happens is brake late. It seems like you always brake a little later than you should, and and you can't see like a wreck in front of you coming until it's really on you. So it's just a little tougher, for sure.
Well, Joe, I appreciate you sticking around and taking your time in the driver interview booth with us for the podium for GT4. And man, there was quite a few spins that we saw there on the really rumbly strip portion of the track. So, man,
it's a rough track. Yeah, that's a rough track. It's not forgiving at all.
Real quick, Joe, last thing, who we shouting out, who makes it all possible, man?
Shout out to Stam Studios for doing this every week, and of course Warren Johnson for putting on a great racing series, and of course Rainey Ohms Racing, that's the big sponsor, and I don't know, that's about it, I think.
Well, Joe, I'm shouting you out here, man. Another great run, and thanks again for joining us up here in the interviews. Have a great rest of your night here, man.
Hey, thanks. Good night.
Alrighty, Stone Colby. Oh boy, how about it, man? You got yourself a copy.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, scraping the walls on the exit. I didn't think we could make Sebring look like a street course here tonight, but using every inch of the track. Came away with P3 here tonight. Walk us through it. Up 5 spots gained since that original drop of the green flag.
Yeah, my qualifying has been kind of just shit lately. I don't know what's going on, but I'm making my life harder on myself. But no, it was a good race, and I thought Joe and I were catching Andrew before the caution flag. And then it came out, and then we actually ended up taking front tires when we pitted, and I swear that made the car worse. They felt like 30 lap old tires, so that was tough. They were pushing. That was probably why you saw me against the walls quite a bit, but I was just trying to give it all she had, and obviously the bumps don't help a whole lot, but Andrew did a great race, Joe did a great race, and no, it was a good time. Stone,
always make it look like a good time out there on the racetrack. That vehiclebuyers.com. McLaren GT4 gonna bring it home P3. Who we shouting out, man? Who makes it all possible for you?
Oh, as always, Stam for, you broadcasting and Warren for putting on a great league, and it's fun week in and week out, and obviously vehiclebuyers.com, overstock vehicles, and my friends and family that always watch every week. And huge shout out to Nico over, in Georgia right now. He fell asleep about 2 hours ago because he's driving so much, but I'm proud of him and he's doing good, and I'm excited to see what his future holds.
No, it's so cool to be a part of all of it here. I mean, goodness, you going wheel to wheel with them in the sim is cool enough there, and then Stone, it's so cool to see you wheel to wheel real life within the Apex Motor Club Racing Arizona League. It's goodness great. We're rewriting the racing history books here, and it's so cool to be a part of it. Stone, congrats on your podium finish here tonight, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, Warren Johnson, final interview of the night before we start to rack and stack some replays here. We got quite a few to go over. Warren Johnson, you got yourself a copy, man.
How we doing, John?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing great here. Another excellent race here in the West Coast Sim Racing Multi-Class League. Warren, how are you doing better yet?
I'm doing okay. I was gonna say I wouldn't blame you if it was so dark for you in the stream. It was probably difficult. I would imagine you'd be frustrated not seeing.
No, you're all good, man. No worries.
Yeah, no, it was a fun race. I think I started and finished P6, so can't complain really. I couldn't gain any time on the last half with Steckler in front of me. I was getting really frustrated, but that's okay. If you start where you or if you finish where you start, I guess that's okay if you're a P6. So.
Hey, well said there, Warren. You got the new paint scheme on it. That always will bring out some luck, a little bit more horsepower as well. What was it like here out on track? We heard a few drivers talking about the track conditions here being at least mostly GT3 drivers, if not all the GT3. But I mean, how did it feel the GT4 here tonight? I know we checked in with you halfway.
It was good. I love GT4s on this car or on this track, so it's really fun. And being a night race, it just puts a little bit of a interesting factor into the race. So yeah, I had a good time, man. The car felt good. I know the GT3s really struggle on tires on the restart when they get cold. It's really. But I mean, it makes sense though. You have used tires that get cold. They're probably going to be worse than new tires that are cold. So, I mean, it really sucks for the GT3s. But and the GT4s, they feel okay. But yeah, it's a difficult track, but a fun one for sure. And I've driven here a lot recently, and I'm starting to really enjoy it even more. So, we'll have to definitely keep this track in the rotation.
Well, Warren Johnson, brake rotors aglow here tonight. I know it's a little bit until the Sebring 12 hour, but we might have to get a little team forming here. This is one of my favorite road courses as well. Warren, before we let you get going, man, who are we shouting out? Who makes it all possible?
You, of course, for doing this twice a week with us, and then once a week for the Apex guys. That's a lot of work. I think you have a stream every day or two or more sometimes. So
it is, yeah, just about.
So you put a lot of good work in, and we really appreciate that.
Oh, thanks, man.
Especially at an affordable rate, man. I mean, honestly, you should be charging more, but I'll, you make it really, really good for us, and we will stay loyal to you. Don't worry. So, we'll thank the Apex guys for always, joining up, and always being here, helping us start the league and giving us some guys. We kind of mutually run races together with, new people. They join their league, then come to us, and people join our league, then go to them. So, we're really glad to be racing with them as always. And Joe Rainey being a good help, being a good steward. He does a lot of work for us, and he's very helpful, very good guy, great guy, honestly. I'm gonna have to go visit these guys soon in Arizona. Just thanks to everybody in the league that comes to the races every week, twice a week, or whatever you're doing. We don't have any of this without our participants. So appreciate every single one of you guys. And I'd like to lastly thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Most importantly, he makes it all possible. So thanks again, Sean, and have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Warren. You have a great rest of your night. And real quick, stick with us here on Stam Studio Network. We're gonna get quite a few looks at some replays here. So I'm gonna get going here. I'll let you guys. I'll be back here, Warren or Steven, Daniel, if you guys are still around to chat. I'll be here in just a few moments' time. I'm gonna go over some replays, but until then, thanks everybody for joining, and I'll start these kind of replay run here. Alrighty, so let's get into this. There's something new here on Stam Studio Network I'm gonna do here. Normally the stream would be done, right? But nope, we're gonna do something new. We're gonna go from the top of the race and look at just about every single incident. I will say some of these might just be single car spins or just carrying a little bit too much speed. Here, that's I'm gonna cut the music there. This is going to get serious. That's why, because take a look here into turn one. This was turn one of the race. Call this a Stam Studio Network kind of race breakdown here. I don't know if I'm going to do this every race because I'm just kind of doing things off the top of my head here. But here we have Aaron Schultz. This is turn one of the race, lap one of the race. Once again, the tires were kind of the thing to talk about here tonight, the GT3 class. There we've seen quite a few different replays of this incident. We'll hop on board with Aaron. At full speed, might I add, this time. And once again, Daniel Parmalee is coming in there missing this incident. I don't know how he did this, but taking a hop on board here with Daniel. Look at, have you ever, take a look at the left, oh, that's Aaron Schultz once again. Sorry, we'll back this up. This is going to be like an after midnight show here on Stam Studio. I'm caring way less about production stuff at this point and just getting what I need to get shown by. Here is Daniel Parmalee. Boy. Okay, next incident. Sorry, I threw my notes on the ground here because, we don't need them anymore, right? Next incident going to be Brandon Birch, also within the same corner. I believe this is lap 2 or 3 of the race at this point. VehicleBuyers.com number 36 machine. I believe he's just going to run a little wide. Here comes Jake Steckler down the inside. Holy, 2 VehicleBuyers.com machines. Contact, pretty egregious contact there. We'll take a drone camera shot at that one. And full speed as well. Oh, it's going to start with just Brandon Birch. He clips that apex there into turn 1 and 2. Believe that done that one too many times there myself, and around he'll go. He's able to keep it right back going again. A little bit of damage on the rear. Able to get that fixed about halfway through the race. D Ghost is down here. I don't know when you asked this question, but if it is recent, D Ghost, is the problem with the tires just cold? Well, D-Ghost, if you're still watching, man, iRacing, they released that newer tire model for the GT3 car, and it's something, well, obviously when you start a race, the tires, they're cold, they're very cold, as well as the pressures aren't up to operating temperatures, and so what ends up happening there is, especially on a cold track like here tonight, the track temp was at the lowest you can set it within the iRacing universe at 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is just, I think, in my eyes, this could be, I think the whole kind of iRacing universe is still trying to come to ropes with it and how to fix it with GT3 racing. But within official races as well, yeah, that just seems to be kind of a thing that we continue to deal with in the GT3 class. Here's some GT4 contact here. This is going to be Steven Shakespeare. Sorry, we're going to have to back this puppy up. Once again, if you're just now joining us, this is Stam Studio Network After Dark. I'm not really caring too much about the production value at this point anymore. I'm just looking to get these replays looked at and a little bit more broken down from what happened within the race. Here comes some side-by-side. Steven Shakespeare deep into turns 3 and 4, that was. And not quite clear. He's going to tag around. That's the vehicle buyers. No. See, this is why it's After Dark here. Is that Andres Profana? No, that's Daniel Parmalee. Okay. So next replay here. Lewis Holloway, he's going to end up going around. I believe this is going to be a self-induced spin here into the hairpin. We'll take a look here. Yep, there you. Well, if you did see it, we'll have to rewind this one again. Lewis Holloway, he gets those left side tires out and off of the racing surface. Doesn't quite get the car on all 4 tires on the asphalt. You can't slow a car down if you got 2 in the grass and 2 in the sand. Excuse me, the racetrack, and that's why we just saw Lewis Holloway go around. Man, able to keep it. He really got on the gas going there. Let's go to next incident. Amethyst Reese would be the next one. This is into turn 1, side by side between these 2 drivers. Matter of fact, I think we caught this one within the race here. This is Amethyst Reese and, synchronized spinning there. Who else? I believe that's Lewis Holloway as well? It is Lewis Holloway. So just after Lewis had a spin, he has now had an incident with Amethyst Reese going into turn 1. This is at full speed here this time. Ooh, just the slightest bit of contact there. Luckily for Amethyst, she go ahead and lock it down on the racetrack there. Let's see. We still have 15 people. What? Okay, we'll keep this going. I didn't think this would be a very popular thing. Here's Joe Rainey, second place finisher. He won a week ago in the GT4 class. Here's Joe Rainey's spin. Oh, we saw this in the driver interview for Joe Rainey. Around he'll go. Where he stops, nobody knows. Just kidding. It's the tire barrier there. We'll have to rewind that one once again for Joe Rainey. And take a look at, if we slow this down here, watch the right side tires here. So you can abuse the left side on these 3D rendered rumble strips, but watch these right side tires. I believe we're going to see these things lifted up and off of the race surface. Ooh, yep, a bump, a bounce, or 2 or 3. That's going to end up sending Joe Rainey around. We'll end up taking the next incident. This is kind of fun. I get through doing this. Here is the second race restart is the next incident on track. It's going to be, let's see who gets involved. Well, we'll take a look at the original, the race restart here is what it was. The GT3 start was pretty clean until Adrian Gutierrez here. Just take a look and see what Adrian. Oh, holy speed differential! There's a Chevrolet Corvette. Daniel Parmalee getting held up there. This is Adrian Gutierrez heading down into turn 1. He should have an incident here in a moment of itself. Yes, another GT3 around. Synchronized spinning. Daniel Parmalee goes with him. Daniel doesn't hold the brakes. There you see the difference of what holding brakes does and doesn't do for you. Take notes there. Not Daniel Parmalee or anything, but just drivers in the iRacing universe. Lock these puppies down. Synchronized spinning. And how about Andreas Profana splitting the C's there? I know Andreas finished P17 overall, but take a look at what Andreas does. We'll hop on with him. So he's off the pace here. Well, he's not off the pace. He's on the pace, but as a GT4 versus GT3 driver. Oh, boy. Clear the way there for the Lightning McQueen. Number 95 machine. Door quarter clear. And there goes Amethyst Reese right there out in front. Andreas doing everything he can just to miss every single incident. Speaking of incidents, here's the next one. Oh, matter of fact, the same one. Daniel Parmalee out heavy into the tire barrier. Brandon Birch, Jake Steckler, and Warren Johnson. This was the incident I did try to take a look at earlier in the race, and it didn't end up being anything. We'll hang on board here just a few more moments' time. But yeah, SDK Gaming claiming Brandon Birch, Jake Steckler, as well as Warren Johnson had a little incident of there themselves. Yeah, so far keeping it clean. Warren Johnson is right here behind this battle as he's going to have to deal with a hard-charging Amethyst. It's not Amethyst. Adrian Gutierrez. Yep, there's that GT3 versus GT4 battle. No incidents there between those drivers. Here is an incident. I believe we did catch this one in the live broadcast. Adrian Gutierrez going around. Might want to call that Brandon Birch's corner there because, no, I'm just kidding. That just sucks for Brandon. The reason I say that is it blows for him because Brandon, I know this is Adrian Gutierrez right here. Brandon had so much pace earlier on in the race. And then, well, to round everything out here is going to be the Rexy machine, Josh Hunter, coming out of turn number 17, Sunset. our overall winner, GT3 winner here tonight. Congrats to Josh Hunter. Once again, Daniel Higgins will take away P2. Benjamin Forehand, how about it, P3 driver there. Holly XA, P4. Andrew Bound, Joe Rainey, Stone Colby, the top 3 in GT4. We got fireworks here tonight. I missed that one earlier on. Hang on here, boys and girls. That's pretty neat to look at there. Oh boy, hang on. I'm gonna do something special here for us before we all get going. Stick with us here on Sam Studio Network. Trust me, you're going to want to. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, well, I was gonna try to get the fireworks action. I don't know. Here we. There's no. There you go. Woohoo! Firework action. I'm going to let this race play out here because, I mean, you got to love some fireworks here tonight from Sebring. Congrats, everybody, once again. Congratulations, all the race drivers. Congratulations, and thank you for joining me here tonight on Stam Studio Network. Have a great, great rest of your night. Take care, and I'll be seeing you Monday night for West Coast Sim Racing League. Have a great night and take care, everybody.